some fucking chemical in your brain that makes us different from animals, makes us all the same. Take it if it makes you numb, take it if it makes you calm, take it if it makes you make it perfect. Take it if it makes you talk, take it if it makes you cough, take it if it makes you forget verses.
My name is Courtney Smith, and I am a history professor at Mesa Community College by day, and I am also an instrument-rated private pilot. I like teaching at MCC because it's a small classroom environment. You get one-on-one time with students. You really get to delve into some of the complexities of history, and students are here because they want to be here. They've made a choice and a decision to spend money on an education. And so it's really great to be able to work with students who are excited to learn. If I were not teaching, I would probably be trying to become a professional pilot. I would like to do some flying for hire. I don't know what that will mean, if that's being a flight instructor, so teaching aviation, or if it'll just be flying skydivers or Grand Canyon tours or something like that. I think I might still end up doing something teaching-wise, but incorporating the aviation into that. It's really fun to have I don't know if hobby is the right word, but it's great to have an activity that I'm passionate about and that I'm constantly learning more about. It's a field where you can't stay stagnant and you can't get complacent. Things are different every time. There are challenges every flight. And I love that challenge and the freedom that I have in being able to walk out of my office, get in the car and say, I'm going to go flying, and 20 minutes later be up in the air. Well, maybe 40 minutes later, be up in the air. And I can just go and tool around, and it's just a really awesome feeling. Almost all of my personal flight training has been Chandler, Arizona. Chandler Airport has an incredible community. There are a lot of private pilots like me who are just starting out. There are a couple of flight schools on the field, so you have student pilots. This Phoenix area is a base for US Airways, now American. And so you have a lot of the old America West pilots, then US Airway, now American Airlines. So you've got commercial aviation there, you've got recreational aviation there, chartered flights go in and out of Chandler, and people still hang out there. They have hangar parties every now and again, and people are willing to sit down in a lawn chair and have a chat with you. It doesn't seem to be a place where people are too busy to have a conversation, and so it's a community.
America West, we flew 737s, 757s, Airbuses.
And then he flew 747.
I flew Dash 8s, and I also flew 747.
Excellent.
I flew,
And,
before that I flew
Your
707.
Airbus 737,
7.5.
7.5.
Airbus.
He's Airbus.
No, Airbus.
You never flew the Airbus, did
No,
you?
all Boeing's 7.3.
73, 75.
Yeah. And then
And Bob is an old FAA dude, but he's one of the FAA guys we allow
Flight
through the
inspection.
door. He
Now that
was,
he's retired, he's allowed to hang out.
He, he passes inspection now, but he didn't used to.
So the camaraderie around the airport and just around pilots in general is really great. It's sort of an instant bonding mechanism. So you can ask the question, so what do you fly? How many hours do you have? What certificates and ratings do you have? And so, there's a little bit of that can happen, but you just know that that's somebody who has the discipline and the follow through to complete something that really is challenging. A lot of people begin flying and don't necessarily complete a certificate or a rating. And so, it's really cool to just be able to talk about commonalities, and you can, of course, share the sort of battle stories, and this happened and this was so scary and this is when I was awesome. And that's, really fun to be able to do, and it's sort of an instant conversation starter, which is neat. So for me, I didn't have any real connection to aviation. I had flown on commercial airliners with my family as a kid and always thought they were really neat and loved that. But I didn't know any pilots. I didn't ever spend time in general aviation airports. And I mean, really the only connection I had was that my dad's dad had flown in the Navy in World War II, but he didn't fly anymore. I hadn't ever really seen pictures or logbooks or anything, and so it just wasn't on my radar. I took a ride in a single engine plane, and that was it. I knew I wanted to figure out a way to do that myself. So it took one ride in a small plane and I was hooked. It's like a drug. So this airplane, November 18907 Victor, is a 1974 Cessna 172M is the model, and it is 160 horsepower, used for training, primary flight training, and yeah, it's a good, reliable, sturdy little airplane. It's not particularly high powered. It's got enough power to carry two very comfortably. It is a four-seater technically, but I don't usually ever take more than 3 people. It's reliable. 172s have been the standard for a long time. They just kind of keep on kicking. I'd be curious to know what the numbers are as far as what percentage of people start in a 172. Every time I take it somewhere, somebody will say, "Oh, 97 Victor, I used to fly that airplane," which is really funny. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, still around."
You're not particular to anything.